You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Most writers and radio show hosts know that to connect with your fans, you need to do more than just write books or record the latest podcasts. There are many different elements that go into forming an online platform, but there are also many hidden traps. To make matters worse, solid advice on how to survive the muddy waters is scarce. In the book Hidden Traps, I talk about some of the important issues of working with an online platform, highlighting traps that could put your physical or internet security at risk or be harmful to your reputation. Are your social media posts just links with a few disjointed words, making you look like someone who can't complete a sentence? Did your new website cost you more than you anticipated? Are you leaking your personal contact details across the web without even knowing it? Then you need Hidden Traps. Although Hidden Traps is not officially released until August 1st, you can pre-order your paperback or ebook copy now from a variety of retailers, including Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Kobo. Visit blackwolfpublications.com for more details.
Here's George Foreman with InventHelp.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. If you have an idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call InventHelp today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee a company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put InventHelp in your corner.
Get your free inventor's information. Call 1-800-353-6490. That's 1-800-353-6490. Again, 1-800-353-6490.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
Hey, y'all, this is Ginny Ehrhart with the Southern Sisters Radio Show. We are moving to SunTrust Park. That's right. The new Southern Sisters Radio Studio is in the Battery, Atlanta. How would you like to be a guest and come visit us in our brand new studio at SunTrust Park? All you have to do is email us at radio@southernsistershome.com. We have a fantastic new studio, and we would love for you to come see it.
Always great to have our Southern sister back in Wenz World, Ginny Ehrhart.
Hey, Joey, you're just glad I'm here because I'm talking about chocolate cake today.
You know it's National Chocolate Cake Day.
Did you know there was such a thing?
No, but there should be in every nation.
Yeah, a.k.a. Ginny's favorite holiday. Yes, indeed, today is National Chocolate Cake Day, and I am here to share my absolute favorite chocolate cake recipe. Okay, my mother was given this recipe by the mother of a girl in my 5th grade class. She brought a piece of this cake to school with her in her lunchbox one day, and I begged this poor girl relentlessly until she gave me a bite. It was definitely worth all that begging. We have been making this cake in my family for 40 years.
You know, see, I'm the store-bought kind of guy because I'm lazy.
Joey.
But I have a strange suspicion that you're going to make this exceedingly easy.
It is super easy. Anybody can do it.
Nice.
Anybody can do it. And guess what? I'm going to tell you a little about the recipe. It's also going to be on my website. So you folks can go to southernsistershome.com, click on the blog, and look at Ginny's gooey chocolate fudge cake. It's right there. You know how to turn the oven on, right?
I think so.
Okay, 325 degrees is what you need, right? Cool. So in a large mixing bowl, you're going to combine 2 cups sugar and 2 cups flour. I know you've got that in your kitchen. That's all there is to it there. Now, in a medium saucepan, you're going to melt 1 stick of butter, 3 tablespoons of cocoa, 1 cup of water, and a half a cup of oil until it's melted. You pour this over the flour mixture and combine. You're going to add 2 eggs. Now, listen, this is worth buying a quart of buttermilk for because the buttermilk is going to impart all of that richness, that decadent moistness, right? So you need to add a half a cup of buttermilk, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Mix it well, pour it into an ungreased 9x13 baking pan. You don't even have to grease the pan, Joey. Oh, wow. That's how easy it is. Just pour it in there. You're going to bake it for 35 to 40 minutes or until a toothpick, you know that little trick, you stick a toothpick in the center, and when it comes out clean, without any batter sticking to it, you know it's ready.
And if it does come out with batter, you just lick the batter off and try
again. Oh, man. Pop it back. You just pop it back into the oven and call it a day. Maybe another 2 to 3 minutes if it's sticking.
Okay.
You got it? Now, we're going to make this cake better by slathering it with an amazing chocolate fudgy icing. So all you're going to do is in a medium saucepan, you're going to heat 1 stick of butter, 1/3 cup milk, and 3 tablespoons of cocoa over medium heat until it's nice and melted. You're then going to add 1 box of confectioner's sugar.
Okay.
The entire box. Yes, indeed. Just whisk it in there until it's nice and smooth and pour it right over the hot cake right out of the oven.
Okay, so let me ask a really dumb question.
Yeah.
You said pour the whole box. Are there different size boxes of confectioner's
I think it's
sugar?
a 1 pound box.
One
it's
pound.
A standard box.
Okay.
Not the big bags. Those are usually 2 pounds.
Okay.
But just the standard box of powdered sugar, confectioner's sugar. The whole thing goes in.
I'm ready for sugar overload right now.
The hardest part is going to be waiting for that cake to cool a little bit so you don't burn your tongue.
Well, in the meantime, you just lick the toothpick.
Well, hello. But that is how I am celebrating National Chocolate Cake Day today.
That is so awesome.
Yay.
And folks, of course, if you listen to AM 920 The Answer every Saturday, Ginny kicks off the afternoon with Southern Sisters Radio.
Right? At noon?
And in addition to the chocolate cake recipe, you guys had a really fun show, but it was also practical because you're talking about how to survive the flu epidemic. And I know around the Wenz compound, we've seen a lot of sicknesses come and go. I have a child in daycare.
Oh, yeah.
So
then it's unavoidable, right? Yeah, it has really sort of ravaged the country. So we give some tips on how to avoid getting it and how to survive it if you do get it.
And speaking of survival, women and guns. And I know here in the South, we're a very gun-happy culture.
We are.
Including the Wenslers. We are, too.
We are, too. Well, we take our guns seriously in the South, and women as well. You know, I often refer to guns as the equalizer for women.
Absolutely.
Because typically we can't outweigh or outbulk our male counterparts. Sure. So when we need to protect ourselves, it's good to know that we have a weapon to do so.
And also, you guys give some techniques for brain training. That's like next level stuff
listen,
here.
Joey, you are not too old to train your brain. Neither am I. There are actually some brain exercises, techniques that you can use to train your brain to be more happy.
That is so cool. Everybody could use a little more happiness.
So tune into the Southern Sisters radio show. You'll learn how to shoot a gun, eat chocolate cake, and be happy.
All at the same time.
All at the same time.
And, of course, all that's available on SouthernSistersHome.com.
SouthernSistersHome.com. You can also watch us live, Facebook Live on our Facebook page, Southern Sisters with Ginny Ehrhart.
Southern Sisters Gone Wild.
Yes. Uncut and uncensored.
Oh, I absolutely love when you come here. Jenny, thanks so much for coming back.
Thanks, Joey.
Break!
I'm gonna spend another fall in Philadelphia.
Oh, it's so good to have the topic wheel back. I feel so swole, Griff. I carried this mamma jamma up 10 flights of stairs. 39 pounds. It's not light.
Almost weighs as much as like some cat litter. You know, you buy cat litter at the store. It's so heavy.
Melissa and Doug.
Do they make cat litter now?
They should. They do everything else so well.
I do Arm & Hammer.
Are you an Arm & Hammer kind of guy?
Yeah.
That's pretty much all American.
Heavy cat litter. Because they make that light cat litter now.
Uh-huh.
And I don't think the cats like it as much. There's like turds in my living room then. So
Is your cat still peeing in your bed?
They're not allowed in the bedroom anymore.
Now that you know, I mean, really, how do you know if they're there or not? Do you guys shut the door during the day?
They keep the door shut. That door stays shut. So now,
how do you know they don't open it and then shut it behind them?
They might. I don't find them. They get out before I get there.
But we are back with this topic wheel.
It's been a while.
It has been too long. I'm so excited. There's so many things to talk about.
We finally have a week without games, so we can dive into little topics. Go deeper into things.
We're going to have a lot to say about the big game coming up on February 4th.
It's going to be super.
It's going to be super, and there are going to be a lot of bowls with chips in them.
I'm not eating chips right now. I'm on a diet.
Are you on a diet? Good
so
for you.
We'll have some chickpeas, and I'm going to dip those in
some hummus.
Salsa.
So, okay.
Something like that.
You know, I'll eat all the chips then for you. You want to take the first rib? My arms are a little sore.
I'll do it.
All right. This is us, Crockpot Awareness Month.
Throw them away.
XFL, Vince McMahon. Oh, it landed on Eagles fans. And many of you were probably saying, oh, of course, the Eagles fan wants to talk about Eagles fans.
Are you an Eagles fan?
Yes, I am.
And they're playing next week.
They're playing in the big game on February 4th.
I heard it's going to be super.
It's going to be super, and...
Well, probably not for you, since you're an Eagles fan.
You know what? Everybody said that.
Spoiler alert.
I'm just going to tell you right now, the Eagles are going to win. And that's all I'm going to say about the game this week. But next
I'm
week...
going to tell you right now, Eagles aren't going to win. Tom Brady's going to get another ring.
No.
I'll tell you that right now.
The evil empire shall topple February 4th, and it's going to begin with the Philadelphia Eagles.
Okay.
But Eagles fans, we've gotten a really bad rap over this last week, I'm sure.
Oh, totally not self-inflicted, though.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
We were provoked.
No. Oh, okay.
We were provoked. And let me tell you how I know this. Because
worst fans in sports.
That is so debatable. That's such a subjective truth that you just spoke there. We gave the Atlanta fans a good time. None of them complained a minute about the way they were treated. You know why they weren't complaining? Because we didn't treat them bad. You know why?
You know what? Atlanta fans are fair weather fans, and they didn't even travel to Philadelphia for the game.
You know what?
There were no fans for there to be any interactions with. I don't want to hear it.
I mean, they don't even travel well to their home stadium.
Right, they can't even get there. So they're going to go to Philadelphia in the winter? Get out of here. Come on. Minnesota fans, though, there were some issues last week, huh?
When you dress Rocky up in a skirt and put a Stephon Diggs jersey on our fictional movie hero character, Rocky Balboa.
One of the most overrated, boring movies of all time.
That's also a subjective truth.
It's also a fact.
It's definitely not. That's an opinion, and I think the Rocky franchise it's amazing, first of all. So let's move on from that franchise. The franchise that I'm talking about right now is this Philadelphia Eagles franchise that has the absolute best fans. And you know what? When you come to Philadelphia and you do your little skull cheer on the steps of the art museum, you're asking for problems. You just Rocky up as a tranny. You're asking for problems. So yes, you will get beer bottles thrown at you. You will get middle fingers thrown at you.
I don't understand. It's just gamemanship. Is that a word?
No, it's bad sportsmanship.
It's good sports. It's just having a little fun.
And now you got
that's not hurting anybody.
What's not hurting anybody?
Dressing Rocky up as a chick.
So what? We're throwing full beers, offering alcoholic beverages to complete strangers. That's a bad thing now? What are we supposed to hand them to you? What? Stone Cold Steve Austin always asked for a beer. Did they come to the ring and hand them? No, they threw him cans of beer.
What Minnesota did didn't hurt anybody. What the Eagles fans then do in retaliation is you physically hurt other human beings, like Eagles fans or Philadelphia fans have done for years.
We just hurt a horse.
Dating back to
it's a police horse,
Santa Claus and batteries and whatnot.
How many people have been trampled by police horses? I ask you. Many. I can count them on 8 hands. That's a lot. So the horse probably had it coming. I'm not advocating for animal violence. I love animals, unless your animal's evil, and then I don't love it. Like Griff's cat pees on his bed. That's an evil animal.
I'm not a fan of the cat.
No, I'm not a fan of the cat. You should buy a crappy litter.
Probably an Eagles fan.
It might be, because cats are smart. Cats are intelligent, and they're independent. They're not like
the spin zone that's going on in here.
They're not like
incredible.
The Patriots, which represent dogs, codependent hacks who really don't treasure
No, I
their
agree
team.
I agree with that about dogs, but the Patriots are not hacks.
Dude,
appreciate greatness, appreciate excellence. In the world we live in today, so many people are just settle for mediocrity, and here we do have a team that excels, is at the best in every aspect of the game.
Yeah, they're the
and
best
no
at
one
cheating.
Appreciates them. Nothing's ever been confirmed that they've ever cheated.
Tapes were burned. Cell phones were scavenged.
What were on those tapes? What were on those? No one knows.
They were burned. Nobody knows.
Nothing has ever been proved. We're gonna look back at this, and these are gonna be the good days. I was alive. You're gonna tell your son and your grandsons, because you have some already, about when you watched the Patriots. You watched Tom Brady win his 6th Super Bowl. I know I was an Eagles fan, but you know what? I appreciate now, looking back, the greatness. I didn't appreciate it then, but when Tom Brady beat us in that Super Bowl in 2018, I enjoyed it now, looking back, because I got to witness excellence at its peak. It was incredible. We've never seen a run like this in sports.
You're getting off track. We're talking about the Eagles fans and the notion that anybody...
The dumbest and worst fans in sports.
No.
We run into poles in the subway.
Well,
we don't even know
that happens in every cartoon. Would we call Wile E. Coyote dumb? No,
yes.
We call them entertaining.
Okay. They're entertaining.
They're staples to the American
But at the end of the day, they're not winners.
Tom and Jerry?
Wile E. Coyote, not a winner.
He is a winner. How many years on television has he sustained?
Has he ever won, though? Has he ever caught the
Roadrunner?
The Roadrunner, whatever, that big bird?
Meep. You know what? You know what the Eagles are going to catch? The Lombardi Trophy. Because it's dropping to the city of brotherly love. The idea that people are favoring the Patriots just to spite Eagles fans, that's like cheering for the evil empire when the Rebel Alliance has done everything they can to scratch and claw. They lost Han Solo. Yoda's on his deathbed. But here they are. And they destroy the shield generator, and this is the beginning of the reign of goodness. This is the beginning of the good guys.
The Patriots are the good guys.
No, they are.
They're all American. They're the Patriots.
They represent corporate America.
The most Americana, America's team, the New England Patriots. Tom Brady, living the American dream, married to a supermodel quarterback of an NFL team.
They sleep in separate bedrooms, okay?
You don't know that. America, the good guys, the Patriots. I'm tired of winning. Are you tired of winning?
You know what I'm tired of? Our Patriots fans saying, oh well, another Super Bowl. I don't really care either way. So spoiled.
What Patriots fan says that?
I was on Twitter the other day, and some guy was
they don't
another
care.
Super Bowl.
They don't care about these AFC. They want to win the ring. Did you see Belichick after the game? They handed him the AFC Championship trophy,
and he didn't want it.
He's just like, I don't want that because it doesn't matter. He's a winner. He's an American. He's a patriot.
Are you calling the Eagles illegal immigrants? The bald eagle that represents, that is a symbol of this country?
Is it a bald eagle? It's supposed to be a bald eagle?
It is a bald eagle. It has no hair.
I don't know.
It's a receding hairline.
Just like me.
No, I think you have a nice head of hair.
Because I never take my hat off.
So
you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know.
It's fine. We both have faces for radio.
The Eagles are un-American.
This is the most underdog story of all time. They're going to make a movie.
No one wants underdog. We want excellence. We want the best.
They are excellent. They're the best in their conference.
You want to see Nick Foles beat Tom Brady? Get out of it. That's boring.
It's going to happen.
Oh, that's a snooze fest. No one cares.
No, a snooze fest would have been Jacksonville and Minnesota.
No, I agree with that.
Don't you know?
I agree with that.
You betcha.
I agree.
and now you got these Vikings fans on social media saying they're going to sign up to be Uber drivers to just discard Eagles fans in the middle of nowhere. Hey, can you take us to the Dome? Sure thing, you betcha. I got you there covered there, buddy.
Next thing you know, you're in the middle of a lake.
You're in the middle of
one of the 10,000 lakes in Minnesota.
I mean, it's just this idea. It's going to take a Minneapolis miracle that those people don't get their asses kicked. They're asking for trouble. They say they're going to throw crap at Eagles fans.
So the Philadelphia fans you are admitting are violent.
They can be. Only when provoked. Only when provoked. I'm not saying
the Philadelphia fans are so nuts and so out of their minds. They had to put Crisco on the poles and all over the city so they wouldn't climb the poles and create more damage.
Well, that was probably a good idea, but 0 arrests made in the city that night. 0. It's fine. You don't have to climb the pole with Crisco on it. I'll climb the pole. Because this team deserves it. This city deserves it. This fan base.
It's not about deserving. It's about being the best, and the Patriots are the best.
You know what? We're going to pick this up next week because I have a lot of bold predictions about this game.
That was a heck of a topic week.
And by the way, we're going to end this segment with the predictions made last year. And I predicted before the season started that the Philadelphia Eagles would play the Patriots. I predicted also.
You did predict that.
I predicted that they would lose to the Patriots.
You thought you thought Carson Wentz would be the quarterback. So you technically at the time were picking a different Eagles team. So therefore, your prediction's wrong.
Well, how can I help with injuries? How do you predict the team?
You have to have better foresight, like me.
With the X factor of injuries. How was I supposed to know we'd lose our future Hall of Fame left tackle, our Pro Bowl middle linebacker, Darren Sproles, a future Hall of Famer, for sure. Our kicker. Come on, man. You're overlooking the truth. You can't see the forest through the trees. You're stuck in somewhere in Minnesota because you got dropped off by a bad Uber driver. Instead of going to the game and seeing the game for what it is, you're looking through the lens of the fake news media.
Oh, my goodness.
That's exactly what's going on. We're going to pick this up.
We're going to have to pick this because this is...
We got a lot of... I'm cooking chili right now. I'm unplugging the crock pot. We're not going to start any fires here in Wenz World. The only fire...
Unplug the crock pot.
...is this fire-breathing dragon called Radio Griff.
Oh, my
the Gwinnett Gobbler here.
GwinnettGobblers.com.
.com. You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Most writers and radio show hosts know that to connect with your fans, you need to do more than just write books or record the latest podcasts. There are many different elements that go into forming an online platform, but there are also many hidden traps. To make matters worse, solid advice on how to survive the muddy waters is scarce. In the book Hidden Traps, I talk about some of the important issues of working with an online platform, highlighting traps that could put your physical or internet security at risk or be harmful to your reputation. Are your social media posts just links with a few disjointed words, making you look like someone who can't complete a sentence? Did your new website cost you more than you anticipated? Are you leaking your personal contact details across the web without even knowing it? Then you need Hidden Traps. Although Hidden Traps is not officially released until August 1st, you can pre-order your paperback or ebook copy now from a variety of retailers, including Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Kobo. Visit blackwolfpublications.com for more details.
Here's George Foreman with InventHelp.
Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? Do you have the same questions? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp has been helping inventors for more than 30 years and has sales offices nationwide. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. If you have an idea and want to try to patent it and submit it to companies, you should call Invent Help today for free information.
Listen, I can't guarantee a company will be interested in your idea, but I believe every inventor deserves the opportunity to step into the ring and take their best shot. Put Invent Help in your corner.
To get your free inventor's information, call 1-800-353-6490. That's 1-800-353-6490. Again, 1-800-353-6490.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
You're listening to the Spark Radio Network, internet radio like you've never heard before. Innovation, creativity, and imagination are all said to begin with a spark. So fasten your seatbelt and take the ride of your life and listen for the spark.
This is Ginny Ehrhart with Southern Sisters Radio, and I'm your Southern Sister. In case you didn't know, you can check us out every Sunday at 2 p.m. right here on KLRN. And I'd love to hear from you. Email me at radio@southernsistershome.com.
This is Larry WACHS saying, this is Larry WACHS saying, follow me on Twitter at House of WACHS. And download the House of WACHS Modcast app on iTunes and Google Play. All right, so you're all excited. You want to talk to me about the Super Bowl?
I do. I want to talk Super Bowl, baby.
All right, you're all excited. I'm not going to take it away from you. That's why I want to give you the opportunity to, get this energy going.
All right, so I have some prop bets.
Now, let me guess. You want the Eagles.
I want the Eagles to win.
I knew that because you're wearing an Eagles shirt right now. I get it. I felt the same way last year for the Falcons Super Bowl run. I went to Stats, right, to hang out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but the parking is dicey. You can get your head clubbed in after dark. So.
You have to pay to park there?
Yeah. Of course. So, but I didn't care. See, that's the thing. I didn't care what happened to my car because the Falcons were in the Super Bowl.
I'm excited. So I got some prop bets here that I wanted to ask your opinion on.
Okay. All right.
Will Pink wear a Philadelphia Eagles shirt or hat while singing the national anthem?
I haven't thought about it.
She's from Philly.
Will she wear a what?
An Eagles hat or shirt while singing the national anthem.
I don't think the NFL would allow favoritism. And I don't know, sometimes my way of thinking, like if I were a celebrity and after the Super Bowl, would I cheer on my hometown team openly and risk alienating half your fans? Because it's a political thing too, right?
Right.
You're taking, Pink is a... somebody in Boston might be saying, Pink, she's right off the bat, right? It's just like when you see the kneelers at the national anthem,
right?
Everybody gets pissed off at the NFL. So I don't know. Man, I don't know. That's a tough one.
I'll never download another Pink song ever again.
Never.
In Boston. It's not the new red.
Oh, the Pink. I don't know. That's a tough prop bet. I'm going to say no. I'd say no.
All right.
That's my guess.
Over under 2 minutes for Pink's national anthem.
Oh, that'd be over. Well over.
Really? How far over?
She's indulgent. She's an indulgent singer. Nothing wrong with that, but that's what she does. She's
going to go gospel with it?
She likes those big bursting anthems with their runs. And so, yeah, I think it'll go over 2 minutes. What's the record?
Oh, geez, that's a great question. I have no idea.
3 something?
Probably.
Didn't Whitney Houston bust through all patience barriers with the...
patience barrier.
At the time, people were so patriotic because it was the Gulf War and all that. Saddam Hussein. And
how many times will the word dilly be said during broadcasts? Over under 12.5.
12.5 over or under.
And that just says the word dilly. So if you say dilly, does that count
2.
as... Yeah.
Yeah, I would guess so. So you really only have to get 6 mentions of the famous catchphrase, dilly dilly.
Right.
Huh. Yeah, I'm going to go over on that one.
Me too.
Does that mean just between the hosts, like during the game, kickoff to final gun?
I think from kickoff to final gun, hosts and commercials.
Oh, easily. I mean, Bud Light is saturating the Super Bowl. They've already, done a storyline. They've taken the king out into the woods to fight another rival gang, town, whatever.
First commercial, beer, car, E-Trade, or Doritos, or other.
The first commercial. I'm going to go with beer.
Yeah.
Seems a safe bet.
I think Bud Light be the first one.
Yeah, Bud Light's going to jump out there because they know that the Patriots are going to crush the Eagles. But
that's awful. That is just blasphemy, and I can't handle that right now. I mean, they're not.
I'm not here to burst your bubble. I thought you wanted to know. Like, you got all these prop bets. You didn't ask me, like, what do you want to?
Well, we're getting to the main. What do you think of soon?
What do you think of the game itself?
I'm just getting you warm. It's cold outside. I'm just getting the tubes loose.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So who's going to win the Super Bowl?
New England. New England Patriots.
By how much? I think they're favored by like 5 or something at this point.
Okay, they'll win by 5.
They'll win. They'll cover the spread.
Yeah, they're going to win. They're
in overtime or
they're just a better team.
Regulation.
Ow. Yeah.
You think they're a better team? Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Tom Brady.
But he's not. He's just one person. Just like Carson Wentz is one person. I know.
So
he's the greatest, but
so is Nick Foles.
Nick Foles has the highest quarterback rating in the postseason.
It doesn't matter. They're both one people, is my point. So all things being equal, Tom Brady is just a cut above Nick Foles.
But last week you said it was all about Fletcher Cox.
That was last week because they were playing they weren't playing Tom Brady. Fletcher Cox was neutralized at the beginning. I'm sure they saw enough game tape, and they know how to neutralize Fletcher Cox for a good portion of the game. I think he'll get to Brady once in a while, but Tom Brady's just going to win.
That's fake news. Fake news.
It's not fake news. It's my opinion. I could be wrong. But it's not fake news. It's Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. They know how to win. They got all the angles. Doug Peterson is a great coach, but he's not been through this rodeo ever. These guys have done it 7 times. Like they could do it in their sleep.
They're not hungry like the Eagles are. I think that stands to reason.
What do you mean they're not hungry?
Yeah,
they've already won 6.
They've eaten.
They keep eating though.
They've won 5.
They're
right?
back. They keep eating though. They don't stop eating.
But they're full.
Obviously not.
Oh no, they're full.
If they were full, they would have lost last year's Super Bowl. They didn't.
They almost did.
They didn't.
They almost did.
Right, but they did not. Almost, it doesn't matter anymore in the past.
I think you're overlooking. You're.
I listen. I know you're getting emotional, so I'll stop
am. I'm
you.
very. No. It's fine. It's fine. I get it. I get it. You're fake news in it right now. It's fine.
All right. Well, I hope you apologize for that show of disrespect when the inevitable happens.
All right. Well, if I'm wrong, then I'll own it.
Now you're snapping at me.
I'm not. I'm laughing.
I get it. You're upset. You think I'm trying to burst your bubble because I'm a mean person. I'm not. I prefer to see the Eagles win on your behalf. You're the only reason, really, I'm watching the Super Bowl. Otherwise, I'd be taking a walk. I don't give a about that horrible league and the end of one of the worst seasons in NFL history. I have no pity for them. And then now next year it seems like going to double down on the more stupidity.
That means a lot, Larry, that you're watching it for me. Seriously, that means a lot.
Yeah, I mean, who of my friends or relatives have an interest in this? All right, who do they root for? All right, you're first on the list. Nobody else I know likes either team.
Wow.
Or that I care about likes either team. So
I'm honored.
Yeah, you're in. So I hope, but realistically, because I'm not emotionally attached to it that much. I mean, I like you, but not that much. It's not like the Falcons where I'm emotionally attached, and it's hard to separate the being objective to is that something I wish would happen or something I think is going to happen?
Sure.
But New England is it, man. That's why I admire them. They're like Trumpian. That's it. They're the team.
Speaking of Trumpian, the number of tweets by President Trump during the Super Bowl, over under 5.
During the Super Bowl? Mm-hmm. Zero. So
really?
Yeah, he didn't do it. He doesn't try to upstage events that Americans are trying to enjoy. He doesn't do that.
Will former Eagles quarterback Donovan McNabb's vomiting incident from Super Bowl 39 be mentioned during the broadcast?
Probably, yes.
Will Justin Timberlake cover a Prince song during halftime since they're in Minnesota?
I think it's obligatory, so yes. But I have a feeling Chris Stapleton is going to be joining him as they perform their new record together, because that's a great record. That's perfect for the Super Bowl. So, yeah, I think he'll try to get some Prince in there. Yeah, that's worth a shot.
Do you think Janet Jackson will make a surprise visit?
No. I think Justin Timberlake wants to move on.
Move on from that?
Yeah, everybody wants to move on. It was just a shameful cultural event in American history.
Well, speaking of that shameful event, how many times will the wardrobe malfunction be mentioned during the broadcast from kickoff to final whistle, not including halftime? Over 1.5 times? Or under?
Under, because I don't think I think the network too is like, let's not talk about the past. Let's move forward. People are already fed up with all the negative cultural references and the politics, so that falls in those categories.
Who will the Super Bowl MVP mention first in his speech? Teammates, God, city, coach, owner, family, or none of the above? We got God at 4-1, City at 5-1, Coach at 7-1.
Who are they going to thank first?
Mm-hmm. Really depends on who wins it. Foles, he's going God. Brady, he sold his soul to Satan, so probably teammates.
Yeah, Brady doesn't strike me as a God-fearing person.
Not at all.
Not as much as Billy Graham, but I think there's some. I mean, he takes care of himself, so he understands, the nature
temple
of
and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, he treats himself like a god. I think he has some understanding or adherence to worshiping God, but not as much as Billy Graham or as Nick Foles. So if he wins, and it's likely, I'm going to go with he's going to thank the owner.
So since the Patriots are going to win, I'm just going to go owner, right? Because Brady will win the MVP.
Likely.
Which will be higher, kickoff temperature in Minnesota or total points scored in the first quarter?
Which will be higher?
Mm-hmm. I think it's like -8, isn't it? I don't think.
What's the temperature going to be at game time?
You know what? I think it's probably going to be close to 0. So
0? Yeah. It's going to be higher.
It's like wind chills in the negatives.
That's going to be higher.
That's a dumb question. I can't believe I even read that out.
Is that an actual prop bet?
Yeah. Kickoff temperature in Minnesota, 2-3. Total points scored in the first quarter, 11-10.
Wow. I'm making a lot of money.
What is this? This next one.
I'd like to get a license to start a prop bet company.
You should.
You should. How do you do it? I don't know how you do it. Maybe I'm prevented by law from doing it.
What would be some good prop bets off the top of your head that you would conjure up for your new business?
For my new business?
Yeah, WACHS prop bets.
How many people in Georgia will be hitting the nuts today?
Like today, specifically?
Yeah.
Super Bowl Sunday or?
Today.
Today, okay. That
would be
Tuesday.
An everyday thing. It's like the daily lottery.
Okay. Let's see. They're about what?
Maybe 10 million.
10 million. Okay.
Maybe
about half of those are dudes.
5 million.
5 million.
Right.
I'd say about 10%.
500,000 ball strikes.
Yeah, intentional or unintentional.
It doesn't matter.
Right.
It's contact with the balls.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably about 10%.
Yeah.
You never know.
That sounds high. That's like 500,000 ball hittings in one day.
Yeah.
In one. Really?
If you're active.
I mean, I go weeks without getting hit in the balls.
Yeah, but if you're active, you could do it yourself.
I'd say it's closer to 500.
500?
That's my guess.
What do you think the main catalyst for those 500 would be?
Farm work.
Farm work?
Yeah.
This is Ginny Ehrhart with the Southern Sisters Radio Show. Check us out on our website, southernsistershome.com. You can link to our radio show there or check out the recipes that we talk about on the show each week.
From my heart and from my hands, why don't people understand my intentions?
I'm in Wenz world, and I love it.
Indeed, and we always bring our good friends from Reasons to Believe where faith and science converge. This time with our great friend, Dr. Fazale Rana, better known as Dr. Fuzz here in Wenz World. Dr. Fuzz, how you been, man?
Hey, Joey, how are you?
I'm doing phenomenal. One of the primary concerns of any new parent is making sure their baby stays healthy, right? So I know the wife and I invested in about 10 gallons of hand sanitizer, new cleaning supplies, just to make sure that when baby came home and baby started crawling, that baby was completely healthy. But there are some scientists that are saying some of the things that they absorb in their lungs are actually beneficial for the baby in the long term. And some of the stuff is known as biogunk. And there's been a recent experiment to help prove this hypothesis. Go into a little bit about that study itself.
Yeah. Well, the air that we breathe is really very important, and living here in Los Angeles, where there's a lot of smog and pollution, I've come to the point where I don't trust breathing air that I can't see, and the problem is that no matter where we are, there's a lot of gunk in the air, and that includes, pollens and dirt particles, but also fungal spores and bacterial particles and things like that, as well as chemicals. And, when we go into a home, it actually is worse sometimes, the air quality in a home, than it is outside, because all of that material that's in the air can actually concentrate in carpets and in other type of cloth surfaces. The fibers in carpets are great at trapping those kind of particles. And, of course, as you're pointing out, when you have a little baby and he or she's crawling around on a carpet, intuitively you would think that they're going to be exposed to quite a bit of this gunk that's in the carpet. And so there's a team of researchers from Purdue that wanted to understand what kind of biogunk exposure babies and adults would have when they walk across carpets. And so they actually took carpet samples out of people's homes, and for adults, they had them dress up in a clean suit and then walk across the carpet, and they fitted them with a device right by their nose and mouth that could basically monitor the air that they were breathing, and by firing lasers through that air, they could get bioparticles to fluoresce, and from that they could tell how many bioparticles and the size distribution of the particles, and then they can analyze the stuff in that contraption and determine what kind of organisms they were actually being exposed to. And it turns out that babies, as you might not be surprised to learn, are exposed to quite a bit of biogunk when they crawl around. It was really kind of cool to figure out what babies were doing. They couldn't just simply kind of have babies wander around with that contraption on their face.
Right.
They built this robot that mimicked the baby crawling across a carpet, and were able to, again, determine how much exposure babies have versus how much exposures adults have.
I thought one of the most fantastic things about this article, and it's available online, literally all I Googled was babies biogunk, and there's a ton of cool stuff, but the article I'm reading from is from purdue.edu, and one of the most fascinating things is that babies encounter 20 times more of these particles than adults, and obviously it's because they're closer to the ground. Now, the study focuses primarily on carpet and cloth flooring. Let's just say that the babies were raised in a place with hardwood flooring. Do you think they would be inhaling anywhere close to the same amount as biogunk on hardwoods?
I would anticipate that they're probably exposed to a lot more biogunk when they are moving around on carpets, because, again, the carpets are actively trapping a lot of that material in the fibers, and then, again, when the babies are moving across that and they're hitting the surface of the carpet, they're just sending up this invisible cloud of biogunk that's being released from the fibers in the carpet. So the carpets are great at attracting and concentrating that kind of material. And it's interesting, in that study, they found that going from room to room, they actually saw differences in the amount of biogunk that the babies were exposed to. And they even found differences from carpet type to carpet type. Some carpets are just better at trapping stuff than other carpets. But when you're dealing with hardwood floors, it's much easier to clean them and to remove all of that biogunk from the hardwood floor, more so than from carpets.
That's fascinating stuff. You know, we have hardwoods on the main, and I know it was rough on babies' knees until I learned that the baby didn't actually have kneecaps until they developed kneecaps later on in life. You mentioned the different rooms and how they fluctuate, obviously, with different cloth and carpet therein. Where were some of the hottest spots for this biogunk?
You would intuitively think that probably a carpet in an entryway would be, or an area where there's a lot of traffic would be far worse than areas where people are probably not wearing shoes and have less traffic. Because a lot of the stuff that we bring into the home is not just simply coming from the air, but it's also coming from stuff on our shoes and things like that. So that's what I would intuitively suspect, that it probably has to do with traffic and the duration from the time of coming from the outside to the inside.
And I think the irony lies in that you mentioned the entryways being, quote, a lot worse, but the study, in fact, is more leaning to the fact that the entryway carpeting where all of these things collect actually could benefit baby later on in life, just because of the amount of things that their lungs are exposed to, because as adults, we have a upper respiratory system that perhaps children at that age don't have, where some of the things are filtered out through our nostrils and throat. But for the young kids, they're breathing directly through their mouths, and a lot of that stuff gets trapped in the lower airways. Help me to understand if this study does in fact hold water.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think, the point you're making is really an important point, is that our first thought is that being exposed to bacterial particles and fungal spores is probably a horrendous thing for a baby, right, let alone for an adult. But the fact of the matter is it actually may be beneficial to the baby. And there's an idea that's gaining a lot of credibility. It's called the hyperhygiene hypothesis, that basically says that we've created in our modern world these highly sterile, highly hygiene environments that we live in. And for young children, this is actually detrimental because it doesn't allow the immune system in children to actually develop properly, because the children are not being exposed at an early age to materials in the environment that kind of allow the immune system to develop appropriately. And as a result, more and more children going into adulthood have hypersensitive immune responses to things in the environment that they really shouldn't respond to at all. And so it may be a good thing for babies to crawl on dirty carpets. That exposure may actually be actually promote their health later on in life.
So where do we find the drawing line here, right? Because you could go from one extreme to the other. Oh, I'm never vacuuming again. Or we're getting rid of all the carpet. We're going to put baby in a bubble and let him or her live there for the next 2 or 3 years. Where do we find that balance, in your opinion, based off of these studies and the knowledge that you have?
Yeah, I think that the best thing to do is to clean your house like you normally would clean it, but not to become obsessive about, again, trying to create a hyper-sterile, hyper-hygiene environment, and not to freak out when babies are rolling around on a dirty carpet or putting things in their mouth. This is, part of the way in which they learn about the world. It helps their cognitive development, but it also is helping the development of their immune system. So to me, it would be take reasonable measures to be clean, and tidy, but not to freak out when children, do things that would otherwise make us cringe, thinking this has got to be horrible for the child. In fact, it probably isn't.
So for parents like me that have a child in daycare, I guess it's safe to say, don't freak out. They're being exposed to things which will inevitably help them in the long run.
Yes. And so, I think there's quite a bit to the hyperhygiene hypothesis. And, I think we've got to develop a little bit of a different mindset about bacteria and even viruses, that we oftentimes think of them as being really bad, but there's so many instances where we can show increasingly that bacteria that are part of our skin and intestinal tract are critical for our health, and that part of what makes us healthy as human beings is, again, a symbiotic relationship with bacteria and even with viruses to some degree, and that really a very small percentage are pathogenic, that they can cause disease, could cause sickness. And so we don't want to freak out is I think, the bottom line message.
Based off of your knowledge and expertise in this arena, and this is total subjectivity from this point on, but would you, after reading these studies and the findings, discourage people from wearing shoes in your house where you have an infant crawling around? Or would you just kind of be nonchalant about it and just say, either way, it's up to you?
I think I would say either way, it's up to you. I mean, we tend not to wear shoes in our house on carpet just simply to keep the carpet from getting dirty for aesthetic reasons.
Right.
But, I think the point would be, we are being exposed to a lot of things in our environment, but we underestimate the elegant design of our immune system in our bodies that are designed to live in these kind of environments and can handle these environments really very well. I think the point is, let's just not get overly worked up about things, and just let kids enjoy being kids and doing things that make messes, and it'll all turn out okay.
Right. No crying over spilled milk. And I also think it's really cool, as we close, to point out that human babies are the only mammals that can't get up and walk soon after being born. And it's almost like our creator knew this and planned around it by giving these babies elegant immune systems that not only grow from being exposed to these things, but hey, they're not going to die a week later after they crawl around on a dirty carpet. I think that's pretty freaking cool. I got to be honest with you.
It really is. And, and it highlights the fact that as human beings, we really are very different and really are exceptional compared to all other creatures. Because, when we're born, our brain is only about 20% of the brain size of an adult. And there's a lot of growth and brain development that happens through infanthood into childhood and even into adolescence. And crawling is very much part of that brain development and the cognitive development that takes place. But crawling is also critical for the development of a baby's immune system as well.
Man, this is always fascinating. I love when we can mix it up with Dr. Fazale Rana. Again, connect with the good doctor on Twitter at RTB_FRANA and our good friends from Reasons to Believe out there in the great state of California, where faith and science converge. Some of the most reasonable people in California, mind you. Reasons.org there online. Dr. Fuzz, thank you so much for your time, bro. I can't wait to reconnect very soon.
Yeah, thanks, Joey, for having me.
All writers are prone to becoming so attached to our characters and stories that we struggle to see why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing to full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, shaping stories into masterpieces that can stand the test of time. Editing services are provided for all genres and all age categories. Services range from critiques of the short story through to line edits of the full-length novel and copy editing for those preparing for publication. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites, as well as help with those book blurbs and promotional material. We won't abandon you to the masses. We want to celebrate with you in your successes. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services and prices, visit us at blackwolfeditorial.com.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need the Debt Ninja. If you've been caught in a financial trap and need to be set free, then you need the Debt Ninja. Want to stop those harassing collection calls, start saving thousands in interest and fees, and get out of debt fast? Then you need to call the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja will find the best companies across the country that will help you consolidate all your bills into one easy payment, reduce your payments by 30 to 50%, and get you out of debt fast. If you have unsecured debt of $10,000 or more, such as credit cards, loans, or medical bills, call the Debt Ninja for a free 15-minute consultation.
Call 800-826-1246. 800-826-1246. That's 800-826-1246. Call today.
The Debt Ninja.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it. There to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Hey, y'all, it's Ginny Ehrhart from the Southern Sisters Radio Show. Have you checked out our website, southernsistershome.com? We have the most gorgeous array of gourmet flour sack towels. They will look fabulous in your kitchen, and they're complete with all sorts of Southern sayings, designs. Go to our website and check us out, southernsistershome.com, and guess what? We have a promo going on right now. 30% off your order. Just put in promo code SISTERS at checkout. Also, free shipping on all U.S. orders.
Oh, man, it's so good to be one tank tripping it back to Cartersville, Booth Museum. And we have our good friend Tom Chanel back in Wenz. Tom, how you been, man?
Doing great. Doing very well.
And, we like to get a little personal here in Wenz because everybody's a person.
We're friends.
That's right. We are friends. We're friends, man. And so how's the family doing?
We are doing great.
Just had a baby a few months ago.
We did. 5.5 months. Happy, healthy. Just, it's exciting. It's great. I mean, it is. having a great time.
That's so cool.
Friends and family, people try to tell you this is our first. So they'll try to tell you what it's like. They're like, you really won't know until you experience it.
Of course.
I get it now.
Yeah.
Totally get it.
I was the same way. People used to show me pictures of their kids, and I'm like, I don't care. And now I do the same things, and I know they don't care. Yeah. I still do it because it's fun.
Love it. Love
That's
it.
right.
It is. It is fun.
And here we are, February, which means President's Day is coming up.
It is. And, that's something that's really cool. I mean, you visited the museum, and for those that haven't, we're a Western art museum, but we have this surprise gallery that just takes people by surprise.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a presidential gallery that is unlike any other public display in America. So in our presidential gallery at the museum, we have a portrait and an original hand-signed letter on display from every single president.
From George Washington to Donald Trump.
President Donald Trump.
Wow.
All the way through. So this is the only display you're going to see in America like this. There is a similar display, like if you're in D.C., they've got the Hall of Presidents. This is one of their attractions and museums and institutions. But one of the things they never do is they never have the current sitting president on display.
Sure.
So we were able to institute this when we opened in 2003. We had a large body of this work, so we went ahead and finished the process of completing the project, completing the collection, and we're able to obtain actual hand-signed letters. Now, let's be honest, they're not all handwritten. You can kind of see the progression from the penmanship up to typewriters, the introduction of computers and things like that. But they're all hand-signed by each president.
Which is cool in and of itself, though.
It really is. It really is. So when President Obama went into office, we put in the request with the White House. It took us 2 years to get his letter. Then President Trump went in, so we knew as soon as he went in, we would go ahead and make the request. We were fortunate enough to get that in about 8-9 months. We got it late last year. We were able to go ahead and get it on display. So if you were to come to the museum for President's Day, or any day, but if you were to come, you can see every single president in one gallery represented. And that is really the uniqueness behind this.
So I got to know, you said it took a long time to get President Barack Obama's stuff.
Right.
How long did it take, and how many attempts did it take to get President Trump's?
We made one request.
That's it?
One request.
See how good this president is? It doesn't take him 8 years to get stuff done.
So we're fortunate with over the years, we've made some established connections, things like that.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, it's all about the channels you go.
Sure.
So we have a good friend of the museum that is involved in D.C., and we made the request. We were able to get it on official White House letterhead, got his official portrait printed and hung, so it is a part of the collection. And that's the other unique thing about this gallery, too, is, it's not about necessarily the man in office.
Right.
It is that the historical acknowledgement of the office of the President of the United States. And we often forget that, these men are just like you and I. I mean, they have fears, hopes, dreams. Theirs just come with a little bit more responsibility.
Absolutely.
And a little bit more in the public eye, of course.
Bigger spotlight.
But you can really see what these men were going through at the time of writing these letters. And so they vary from fans to visitors to the museum to other heads of state. They're joyful. Some of them are sorrowful. I mean, it's a varied collection, and that's really kind of shows the varied differences in the history of our country.
What I love is the light in your eyes when you talk about this, because you're actually excited about this.
It is.
And I think when you go and see this, and literally you don't have to take a train, a plane, or an automobile.
Right.
Well, you kind of have to drive.
Oh, yeah.
It's a long walk. But what I love about it is it's right in our backyard. And usually these things are relegated to a downtown area, but it's a really smooth drive out there. You don't have to go all the way to Washington, D.C.
No.
And it's right here. When I was there, I was literally floored. And I had to ask you the first time you came in. I said, were these like real letters? Are these copies?
Right.
These are the McCoys.
They are.
This is it.
They're the real deal.
And with President's Day coming up later on this month, I believe February 19th.
Correct.
Most people have the day off. I think I'm working. So
some of us have to. But, hey, I'll be working.
Yeah. If you're working on that day, go ahead and come the weekend before.
Right.
Because in addition to the President's Gallery, you guys have a ton of other things going on.
Always do. And that's the president. We're talking specifically a little bit about the President's Gallery, but you can celebrate President's Day any day at the booth because this is part of our permanent collection. This isn't an exhibition that rotates and leaves and things like that. This is on view all the time.
Right.
Anytime we're open, this is on view. And so historically, the museum is closed on Mondays to the public.
Sure.
We work in the office. It's a day to get things done and accomplished. But for President's Day, we've got the Trump letter. We've added it to the collection. For President's Day this year, we're open to the public just like any other day of the week.
That's so
10
cool.
10 a.m. to 5 p.m. If you've got the day off, go ahead and come up and see us, spend the day with us, explore the galleries. The whole museum will be open, but you could really kind of take in, the reverence of the office and the importance of the presidential gallery and how that played into the American history and each aspect like that. So we're excited about that opportunity. And if you can't make it on President's Day, like I said, it's part of the permanent collection, so you can celebrate President's Day any day of the week.
But what better time to come?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's safe to say that you guys are making President's Day great again.
Hey, make it a trending topic.
Absolutely. Hashtag
right.
Booth is making president. That's a long hashtag.
Yeah, it's too long.
Just go and visit.
Yeah.
And you know what, guys? This is the coolest thing about this is, you go to a movie perhaps on a day off, and it's hit or miss, right? You end up spending $20, you get a soda and a popcorn, and you leave the movie saying, I could have waited till that came out on Redbox or Netflix. But with this is a piece of history. It's a slice of history right before your very eyes for the price less than a movie ticket.
Yeah, yes.
So I think
very affordable.
That, and you guys have family deals and package deals,
right?
Where you can get a season pass.
And kids 12 and under are always free.
Oh, and real quick on the kids thing.
Yeah.
Now that we both have kids, we can both appreciate this. And a lot of the listeners to AM 920 The Answer have kids as well. The place inside booth for kids, is really cooler than the McDonald's playground.
Very much,
and a
so.
lot less germs too.
Yes.
You guys keep that place spick and
we
span.
do. Yeah, kudos to our housekeeping department. They do a great job. There's no doubt about that. But yeah, I mean, that Sagebrush Ranch is our hands-on children's gallery. That is, let's be honest, it's geared for the child in all of us.
Sure.
I mean, man. There's a life-size horse that we all will climb upon and have our picture taken.
I did it.
Let's be honest. Yeah, exactly. So no, it's perfectly fine. It's made for that. I mean, it's made for the children and all of us. So yeah, it's an opportunity to you explore the museum and then go down to Sagebrush Ranch, and it's in the basement, so you don't have to worry about the kids being loud in the museum. I mean, they're kind of secluded, and your opportunity to let them let loose, but they can literally, hands-on take the things that they've seen throughout the museum and throughout the galleries and play and learn and continue to kind of add into that atmosphere. And I like to kind of call it like edutainment. They're being entertained, but they're learning at the same time. So a great place for the kids as well. So yeah, when their kids are 12 and under are free, and you've got the Sagebrush Ranch Gallery for them to have a little fun in, it's a win-win.
And circling back to the presidential gallery, I think something you said needs to be repeated. It's really about the reverence for the office itself.
Exactly.
And this is the thing that I think is the biggest misnomer in this country. Look, for those of you who are married, right, we never agree with our spouses on every single thing in life.
Right.
So why would we assert and assume that we're going to agree with a perfect stranger about every single little thing, right?
Exactly right.
It's impossible and it's not reasonable. But I think what you guys do is represent the historical aspect and the humanity side of each of these individuals.
And that's what we try to do.
Which really does get lost in a lot of other platforms.
Yes, it can.
And
that's a great thing about a museum too. And especially with art specifically, art in itself allows you to have one interpretation of a piece of art and me to have a completely another one.
Right.
That's just the way it is. Well, the same thing, you can have your beliefs on this president versus this president, but in this gallery, it is paying honor to the office of the president and the growth that the office has seen and that our country has seen and the importance that office plays. And so, it's not about just one individual president. It's about all of them. There's been 44 men to serve as president of the United States. And this gallery is dedicated to that office.
That is so cool, man.
Yeah.
In case you guys have any questions, head to boothmuseum.org. They're pretty active on the socials, Facebook and Instagram, Booth Museum. Got to check out the site. Again, boothmuseum.org. About 20 minutes outside the city, 75 north, up there in Cartersville. It's a beautiful drive. I live in Canton, and it's not far from my house either.
No.
I love it.
It's a great part about it. You don't have to go out west to experience the West.
Exactly.
It's right here.
And you don't have to go to the nation's capital to see the historical aspect of the presidential office.
Exactly. It's right here.
I love it. Tom Chenal, Booth Museum, boothmuseum.org. Always a pleasure to have you in Wenz World.
Thank you, sir.
Celebrate President's Day every day at Booth Museum. Explore the Presidential Gallery featuring a portrait and original hand-signed letter from every U.S. president, George Washington through Donald Trump. On view exclusively at Booth Museum in Cartersville. Online at boothmuseum.org. My friend, it means the world to me that we got to spend this time together today. Of course, the conversations never stay here. They're available all the time on demand, wenzworld.com, W-E-N-Z world.com. Also, check us out on Twitter at Wenz Radio. And if you're a Facebook kind of guy or gal, we're accessible there as well. Facebook.com, and then up in the search bar, Wenz World. So until next week, take care, God bless, and one last thing. Go Eagles! We're going to beat those damn Patriots and bring the Lombardi back to Philly. Woo! Big time! Fly, Eagles, fly! On the road to victory! Fight, Eagles, fight! Score a touchdown, 1, 2, 3. Hit them low, hit them high, and watch our Eagles fly. Fly, Eagles, fly! On the road to victory! E-A-G-L-E-S! Eagles! Woo!
Excellent!